It's 5 o'clock, August 12th, 2025. And I don't know what I want to say with this video. I just know that I need to get some of my thoughts out somewhere, somehow. Kind of like a confessional almost, just a, hey, let me clear the air a little bit about some of the internal stuff that I'm dealing with. Truth of the matter is, this project, Millerhaven, yes, it's about the house. Yes, it's about reclaiming a legacy that I just kind of walked away from when it came to my family. And to be honest, it wasn't just me. My grandmother left this house with aspirations of living her own life. And that trickled down into how she taught my aunt, uncle, my dad. And my dad wanted to do the same with his life. And that trickled down to me. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Well, maybe there is. I don't know. I don't think there's any stability in that. I think that that's marketed to us through TV, education, whatever, as like this virtue that you go and make a name for yourself and go out and do this, that, and the other. You know, that's the American dream. And I think that that's designed to atomize society so that small clumps of community, of people willing to die for each other, people who know and love each other, people who are building wealth together and strongholds together, that they're disintegrated. And it's very effective. It's very, very effective. And it doesn't just happen with financially or physically. It happens mentally. You start to detach yourself from your legacy. So this whole process is about kind of restarting and helping my son and hopefully his children and his children's children gain an appreciation for just a simple, quiet life worth protecting. Stability, building a community around you, working within the community that's established around you. And I keep waiting for the story points to fall into place. And what do I mean by that? I keep waiting for some sort of inspiration of the next video, the project to start forming a skeleton on its own. Because I want to be a story. I'm a storyteller. I like telling stories. I like thinking of things in a narrative structure. Even though life doesn't really carry a narrative structure, I love the narrative structure as a teaching mechanism, a tool. And for me, I want to have a story with this. I want to be able to tell a story, but then I keep waiting for the story to hit me like a bolt of lightning, like something to strike. And then I start really realizing what the story is. And that has been my life for the better part of, I'm going to say a decade. It's probably been longer, but I've tried to do something on the internet, some project on the internet for as long as I can remember, the internet being alive. Yeah, with the advent of YouTube, I've been trying to create some sort of story, some sort of driver that carries a project through to an audience that then I can build an income from. And this project is no different. The only difference with this project is that I actually have a lot of my heart and soul woven into it. And it won't fail just because there's no internet skeleton that carries an income. it will fail because I'm distracted or focused on the wrong things. And the wrong thing is to think of this as a story. It's not really a story. There's no story here. There's plenty of stories within this property, but it's bigger than just a story of a guy building a homestead for his family. That might be one aspect of it, but that's not the metaphor that carries this. And I'm starting to realize that it's not the metaphor that carries this, because a story, when you're filming a movie, you film, small movies might be 2-3 months of filming. You have a story, and then you have a script, and you have a shooting script, and you have a shot list, and you just chug away at those things like a to-do list. But that's not what this project is. It's not a film set. It's a construction site. The allegory of a story doesn't fit here. The allegory that fits here is that it is a house. It doesn't need an outline or bullet points or plot points. It needs footings. It needs a new foundation. It needs structurally sound walls. It needs insulation. It needs sheathing. It needs new roofing. It needs new siding. It needs waterproofing. It needs new windows to open. It needs an HVAC system. It needs propane, maybe. It needs a lot more than just a story needs. A story needs a narrative and people to show up on shooting days. And so I'm thinking of this project differently this morning. I woke up and realized I need to stop thinking of this as a story that I'm filming, and I need to think of this as what it really is. I need to stop being in this fantasy land of story and make-believe and focus on it for what it is. It's a construction site. And there are beautiful things, there are stories to be told in that metaphor, in that allegory. And if you think of all of the things that I need to do here, the footings of this house need to be fixed. There's no footings. There's nothing underneath this house other than ground. If I was to take you into the crawl space right now, it would just be the dirt that was there 100 years ago. And the foundation that this house is sitting on is just river rock and mortar, and it's crumbling. So I literally have to go under the house, put in footings to build a new foundation. And so that's where I need to start. I need to start with my footing. And with that framework, I'm thinking of my story here differently. And so I figured I'm going to pick up my phone every morning, talk about this project in a very informal way for people who are interested in my thoughts on it. Sometimes it might get emotional, sometimes it might not, but it's going to be informal, it's going to be me, it's going to be real. I'm not going to craft a narrative around it. That is an exhausting process that has created paralysis, because I want a story to be good. I want a story to be cohesive. I want a story to fit a 3-act or a 5-act structure and have a meaning and a lesson behind it. But at the end of this project, there's no lesson. Not really. At the end of this project, there is a home. You don't walk away from a home. You walk away from a story or a movie or a book and say, wow, I learned a lot from that. I'm going to take this out into the world. A home is where you stay. Home is where you come to after you've learned the story. And there's a lot out there about making stories. There's not a lot out there making homes. I don't know. So, welcome to phase 0. Getting good footing set.